Will you go alone?
Murtagh gave Thorn a quizzical look. The red dragon sat crouched next to him atop the rocky hill where they had landed. In the fading dusk, the sparkle of the dragon's scales was subdued, tamped down like coals in a banked fire, waiting for a breath of wind to flare back to brilliance. What, you'd go with me? A wolfish grin split Thorn's jaws, showing rows of sharp white teeth, each as long as a dagger.
Why not? They already fear us. Let them scream and scurry at our arrival.
The dragon's thoughts resonated like a bell in Murtagh's mind. He shook his head as he unbuckled his sword Zarok from his waist. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Thorn's jaws hung open wider, and his bird tongue ran across his chops.
Maybe.
Murtagh could just picture Thorn stalking down a narrow street, scraping the sides of buildings with his armored shoulders, breaking beams and shutters and cornices while folks fled before him. Murtagh knew how that would end, with fire and blood and a flattened circle of destruction. I think you'd best wait here. Thorn shuffled his velvet wings and coughed deep in his throat. His way of laughing.
Then perhaps you should use magic to change the color of my scales, and we could pretend to be Eragon and Saphira. Wouldn't that be fine sport?
Murtagh snorted as he laid Zarok across a patch of dry grass. He'd been surprised to discover that Thorn had a trenchant sense of humour. It hadn't been readily apparent when they'd been bonded, partly because of Thorn's youth, and partly because of attending circumstances. For a moment, Murtagh's mood darkened.
No? Well then, if you change your mind...
You'll be the first to know. With the tip of his snout, Thorn nudged the sword.
I wish you would take your fang, your claw, your sharpened affliction.
Murtagh knew Thorn was nervous. He always was when Murtagh left, even for a short while. Don't worry, I'll be fine. A puff of pale smoke rose from the dragon's flared nostrils.
I don't trust that shark-mouthed skulker.
I don't trust anyone, except for you.
And her?
Murtagh faltered as he went to one of the saddlebags that hung along Thorn's side. An image of Nasawada's almond eyes flashed before him, cheekbones, teeth, parts and pieces that failed to sum the whole. A memory of her scent, accompanied by a yearning and a sorrow, an aching absence for what might have been, and now was lost. Yes. He couldn't have lied to Thorn even if he'd wanted to. They were too closely joined for that. The dragon was kind enough to return the conversation to safer ground.
Do you think Saros has scented anything of interest?
It would be better if he hasn't. Murtagh excavated a ball of brown twine from the saddlebag.
But if he has, do we fly toward the storm or away?
A thin smile stretched Murtagh's lips. That depends on how violent the storm.
It may not be obvious. The wind can lie.
He measured a length of twine. Then we'll continue sniffing about until it becomes obvious.
As long as we can still change course if need be.
One hopes.